So there's no, you can't take him off in the.
No, you got to go through all the steps. You got to go through all the steps, and tomorrow would be the day that you could.
The last day could be Saturday.
Last day could be Saturday, yes.
Okay. And Devin?
He's fine. He's good.
So he'll travel to Kansas City with you?
Yes.
So what's the, no one's really been able to do it, but what do you think is the best way to kind of slow down Kelce? Or what has kind of worked in the past from what you've seen? If
Yeah,
anything?
it's hard. It's difficult. I mean, he's such a great player. You know, he's the ability to just for him to just wiggle, you know, and really runs great routes. You know, he just solid player. You know, and has learned. You know, him and Mahomes being on the same page so much that they kind of sometimes do their own. I don't want to say do their own thing, but it's like they're doing their own thing. You know, playing pitch and catch. But you got to do the best you can to maybe disrupt timing at the line of scrimmage. You know, obviously, pressure on the quarterback helps a little bit with that. But it's something that you gotta, you really gotta, I think, focus on, throughout the course of the game.
Is it helpful just from the standpoint of like kind of preparing that if he gets in trouble, Mahomes gets in trouble, he's looking for Kelce first? You know what I mean? So you kind of
yeah, and really sometimes I know probably in the red zone might be looking for him, but sometimes it's all the guys. I tell you one thing: all the guys on offense do a great job of their scramble rules, and it's tough. You just have to plaster on a receiver, tight end, and hopefully either get him to throw it away or a short gain.
I know he hasn't practiced the last 2 days, but Hardman, whether he can or can't go, what sort of dimension has he brought to that offense?
Well, I mean, he's a speed guy, and it just they do a lot of jet sweeps with him, and get him in space in the passing game, and of course the specialist, the return game, is obviously big, and he's a good player too, and again, just for us, it's just we have to prepare as if he's going to be out there, and go into the game that way.
You still have to worry about Tyree.
They got a lot of other guys.
Last week you saw Patrick do this crazy scramble on 3rd and 17, picks up 22 yards essentially. Probably is the key play to get them to overtime. How tough is it, particularly for defensive linemen? It's fourth quarter. You're already tired as it is, and you got this guy that's got these improvisational skills that are off the charts.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. That's what makes him special. As a quarterback, the ability to do that. And I know every defense that faces Mahomes, probably preaches the same thing. You just got to continue to finish. You got to play to the whistle, and do what you can to try to get to him. But again, those are all the things that make him great, and you just try to minimize as many of those plays as possible.
What type of pass rusher is Chris Jones?
He's pretty good. He's got great quickness, crowds the line of scrimmage. His first step is explosive. He's powerful, and he gets right into the into the offensive lineman. And then when you put him on the edge, he's got the speed to to go around tackles. And playing at home, crowd noise, great anticipation, with getting off the ball, and can get to the quarterback that way and really be disruptive. So good pass rusher. Just got to know where he's at.
Back to the offense, zone read quarterbacks have kind of been a thorn in this defense's side over the last, against the Giants, against the Eagles with Hurts and then Jones. What do you do this week to prepare them for, I don't even want to call Patrick like a zone read quarterback because obviously he's so much more than that, but how do you prepare them?
Their style too is a lot of the RPO game. Ball's going to come out quick to the tight end or a receiver. I know situations, obviously Patrick can run. It's just a disciplined game. It's trusting your read, trusting your keys. You can't get out of whack of what you're trying to do, right? You just got to stay within the framework of the defense called, and just do your job that way. And the more that you can sort of disrupt that and kind of get them out of that can be helpful as the game goes on.
Go ahead.
How much can you learn about your team in a big matchup like this one?
I think you can learn a lot. You know, one, the character of your team. You're on the road, hostile, crowd noise, all that. You know, and really how we respond to after a win last weekend. You know, and building off of that. This is a great opportunity for our guys. You know, to go in there and play a really good football team. You know, well coached team, disciplined football team. It'll be a nice you know, benchmark game for us to see where we're at.
They play a lot of cover two. Obviously, that's been something that, or I think
They
it's like 33%. Yeah, 33%. Second most in the league, third most in the league, something like that.
That's what they're calling it anyway.
Yeah, so they do mix up their coverages. But for whatever the reason, I mean, have you felt like with the cover two, and maybe it's just whatever the Texans run, their style of defense, that Trevor has struggled in 3 times he played them. So how have you seen him maybe progress against that scheme over the last few weeks?
This is I wouldn't categorize this as much as cover two like Houston does. It's more middle field open. And Spags, you know, you go back and watch his teams, the Giants, when I faced him before, you know, with Philly, and there's a lot of the same similar style of defenses even back then. Probably even same type of pass rushers, you know. So you see a lot of the same things. He does sprinkle the traditional cover two. But this is more of a read style, and really, you know, much like cover two principles, a lot of eyes are on the quarterback, right? And then they're going to rally, and they squeeze passing lanes. So ball's got to come out, it's got to be accurate, receivers got to be detailed. You know, you got to catch, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, all those things against this, you know, against his style of defense, especially the shell defenses.
Everybody good here? For the cameras to go off?
Sweet.